today I'm just going to start with saying a little bit about me. I told you a little bit the other day, but sort of what the journey of what we're bringing about today, which is hopefully some tools or concepts that might help bring around clarity for us in different aspects of life where we may have conflict within ourselves or externally, or those niggling doubts that just never run away. And just welcoming that clarity to ourselves and into our lives. And so for me, that journey sort of started just before I had the encephalitis. So I'd started working for a company that taught people how to connect into what they called their higher selves. I was working in admin doing that, and then I got the encephalitis, and one of their tools that they taught was about how to listen, how to get to that instant answer, that genius moment, clarity. But it was, for me, I went a different way. Anytime I'd be like, okay, I'd follow their technique, but all I get is breathe. And I'm like, I am breathing. Remembering I was like 50 to 70 hour a week worker, OCD, sleep 3 hours a night. It's like, I am breathing. If I wasn't breathing, I'd be dead. Like, come on. And then it wasn't until I actually really stopped. After I had the encephalitis, I basically had sort of a lot of weeks in bed, not able to do anything. And where I'd been such a busy person in my life and always escaping the thoughts and the doubts and all of the things I didn't want to face in my head, I had to face them. I couldn't do anything else. So I just had to lie there and basically face every confronting thought that I had ever had. But within that, I started to just hear the message, breathe, and I started to breathe. And when I sort of allowed myself to let go into that breath, so many answers came through. I was just like, oh my gosh, all this stuff I've been questioning. Anyway, I'm going off track. But through doing the conscious aspects, through doing the subconscious aspects, we learn to see the importance of the energetic aspects. And the energetic field is phenomenal, and there is so much that we can experience through energy and through healing, through all of those things. But the conscious mind, the subconscious mind are equally as powerful, if not more so at times. And so getting to find clarity in our conscious mind can bring around not just that peace in each day, but it can bring around healing within your body. And we carry so much within us subconsciously that can create physical impacts within our body through so much of what I have healed in myself of so many things. The beliefs or the concepts that were hidden and unlocked through delving into some of those places were phenomenal. And so finding clarity isn't just with others, isn't just with ourselves, it's with our body as well. It's with everything around us. But it's not until you lose something sometimes we recognise the value of it. But seeing how beautiful this tool and this gift is within our brain, our minds, our heads, allow yourselves to recognise its power and welcome kindness to it. Recognise each time you're being unkind to it. Well, actually, I'm disabling this incredible tool. I could empower this incredible tool instead. And so just ask yourselves, are there, and just you can sit, if anyone would like to share anything, you can, but just ask yourselves what sort of conversations you might find yourselves having in your own heads. Are there conversations where you're often seeking your to-do list that's repeating? Is it a conversation you want to have with somebody? Is it something that's bugging you? Is it peaceful and you're just singing songs? Is it, what are some of the conversations and what's some of that internal monologue that you are typically running? And just spend a moment, just even think about the last couple of days or the last week. What are some of the things I've been saying in my head? And so with thinking about some of the things that we might experience in our minds, I don't know, the way I once saw it was, and it stayed with me the way that it was, if you imagine all of the thoughts we have, say sometimes we're trying to work something out, say we've I want to do this, or this is a problem, or how do I make that happen, or how do I solve this issue? And what we often do is we have lots of thoughts at random times, and they all go into that washing machine of thought. And we put all these different thoughts in, and often we recycle those thoughts as well. We may have the same thought recurring, add a new element in, keep that recurring. And if you imagine it like a washing machine and all of those thoughts in there, if you're looking at it when it's all doing this, it's really hard to make sense of what's going on in there. But whereas when you take it out and you hang it up, you go, oh, that's what I've got. That's that. Actually, that would go better there. And oh, now that makes sense. But often it's because it's so internalized and never actually, we don't often finish the thought. We can often then jump to the next bit, into the next bit, into the next bit. And so we're often missing elements as well. So we're not necessarily seeing all of what's there. And sometimes when we have conversations with people can go, oh, I just needed that conversation. And often that's just because we've got it out. We've hung it up. It can make sense. And so allow yourselves to see where at times, if you're having any moments that something's recurring, just go, okay, do I need to write this down? Do I need to verbalize this to somebody if I'm not feeling comfortable to get through it on my own? I record a lot. I never listen back, but I just press record and I just pretend I'm talking to somebody and I have my own conversation. And sometimes we have those conversations with friends and asking yourselves just a quick yes or no. Do you feel confident? Do you have a friend? Do you have somebody that those things that you don't feel you can work through, that you talk to? Do you ever feel you can verbalize the truth of how you're feeling about certain things? Or do you feel some truths have to be hidden in order to protect or help or not upset? Are you honest in your conversations with yourself and with others about what you're really feeling? Because truth, unless we accept it, we'll keep fighting. It's sort of like the kid that's like, hey mum, hey mum, hey mum. Until you address it, it's not going to stop. And sometimes you might keep ignoring that kid, go mum, mum, and it gets to mum, 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 and then it gets to throwing stuff. And it's like, well, what level of your life do you want things to get to? You know, you can have something keep coming at you, but you might not want to accept its reality because it might be uncomfortable, or you might feel it might be upsetting. But actually, the longer you leave it, the more ways that it is going to try to get your attention. And so often, it's just accepting the truth of how we feel too that can welcome so much clarity, and not being afraid to accept that we don't have to be happy. We don't have to be positive. We don't have to be kind. We don't have to be understanding. All we need to be is those things to ourselves. Because we can't ever be responsible for anyone else, no matter what we do, no matter how much we try to love, protect, serve, honour, be there for. But if we're not showing up for ourselves in truth, it's really hard to show up for them in that space too. And so recognizing that sometimes we just have to have those conversations that are just about facing the truth about how we feel about something. And the thing is, because our conscious mind and our subconscious mind work aligned, the whole time you're telling yourself something consciously, you are integrating it subconsciously. So the whole time you're telling yourself, it's okay to lie to myself, it's okay to lie, we're setting that belief system that it's okay to lie to ourselves. The whole time we're telling ourselves that we feel a certain way that we don't, we are telling ourselves that we can live a lie. The whole time we're getting problems to come at us, but we're not wanting to accept them. Oh, it's not, it'll be fine. And you know it won't be fine regardless of what the circumstance. The whole time you're denying that, you're telling yourself, I can't face my reality. I don't know how to deal with issues. I don't know how to face my problems. And we're setting those belief systems, and those belief systems then echo into every little aspect of our life. I don't know how to deal with my problems. Well, then we might not even do things like take the car to the mechanic. You know, we find doing those little things become a struggle because we're running that belief system. Things are hard. It's too much. I can't do this. And all those conscious thoughts creating the subconscious beliefs that then create new conscious thoughts that send us out into the world, creating that reality that's running in here as opposed to what's actually in front of us. And we see things in front of us sometimes very differently to what their reality is because of our beliefs. Someone may come up to you and tell you you look beautiful. But if you're telling yourself you look like crap every day, and you're looking in the mirror going, this is wrong with me, that's wrong with me, why do I have this, why do I do this? Someone can come up and go, oh my God, you look stunning. And you'll be like, oh yeah, but this, yeah, but that. And it's like, hang on. You do look stunning, but we can't believe sometimes what people even tell us because we believe these belief systems so much more. But you may actually be stunning, do you know what I mean? And so recognizing our truth can also welcome clarity in ways that you just can't even fathom at this time. I had no concept as to the journey I was about to undertake when I lay in bed for those few weeks facing my fears and facing my doubts. I had no idea what direction my life would unfold into. And honestly, life's hard sometimes. And even for myself, I'm in pain a lot. Where I live isn't very conducive to my health. There's things that are hard, but I am genuinely the happiest I have ever been in my life. I have so much peace within who I am, within my abilities, and they keep expanding. The more love I give to myself, the more I grow, the more I heal, the more I learn about myself, the more allowing I am to myself to accept who I am. And because we are so easily put down in ourselves and not just externally, but we are absolutely amazing. We are such beautiful people, and we very rarely remind ourselves of how beautiful we are. We always tell ourselves the things we might have done wrong, or this, or that's not good enough, and not going, I was so kind to them, I'm knackered, but I put in that energy just to make them feel good. What a kind thing I just did. How generous of me. How loving that I chose to do that. I took 5 minutes for myself to be quiet this morning so that when I saw that person, I could be present to them. Thank you. And we rarely take the time to honour how much good we are doing within ourselves. So start recognising some of those, bringing those conversations in, which is what we're going to do, because I've talked from anyone you choose. And you're just going to maybe be a little bit vulnerable and uncomfortable with yourselves. And you're just going to share 3 things with that person that you are really proud of in yourself. 3 things that you are really happy about with who you are. So, what do most people feel? You can say out loud or you can keep it to yourself. But when you have conversations with people that you meet or that are friends, how often do you find that you have conversations that are engaging, that are rewarding to you or to them, or that interest you? Do you find that you typically have conversations that are very, oh yeah, okay, if I had that conversation, if I didn't, it wouldn't make much.
Surface, you mean?
Yeah, thank you, that's the word I'm looking for, surface level. And how often do we have conversations that actually really engage us and actually make us start exploring ourselves and the other person?
If there's, Beth, you know how you were saying, if there's something that you want to say to someone but you haven't said it to them yet, and you say you talk to yourself all the time, what about the proposition of speaking it as if they were there, so it's kind of like in a quantum field? Is it
yeah,
relevant?
you have that conversation. Honestly, so much of the healing I've done from issues with people has been having the conversations with myself and not with them. Yeah. They don't even know I've had the conversation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's still as valid as
Absolutely.
going to that person and having that.
Yeah. And because often we come into conversations with other people with an agenda in mind, from our own space of what we want, they might not want it. We're going, well, that's what I want for me, but is that what's right for them?
And so sorry to interrupt,
Yeah, no.
verbalizing it is more potent than just thinking it? Is that the process?
And because you get it out.
Right.
And because often, especially if it's towards someone else, we have a lot of other thoughts or feelings or energies towards them.
Yeah.
So they'll pop in as well. So and because what you'll also find is when you say it to yourself, is you'll actually understand more once you say it out loud why you want to say it. And you might recognize, well, actually, is it more for them that I want to say it or for me? Because if it's for me, I can actually work that out. Brings me on to the next thing, which is how do we listen? How do we listen? How do we listen? Do we listen to ourselves when we're telling ourselves those thoughts, or are we just letting them go and letting it run wild and go, I'm not even listening to the crap I'm feeding myself, but I'm just going to keep feeding it anyway? Do we listen and go, wow, actually listen to what you are saying to yourself right now. Hear it, as though you were another person hearing it. How does that really feel? How does that really sound? What does that really mean to you? And asking ourselves how we listen to others. And what is our agenda in that conversation? Are we having a conversation with someone because we want to help them? Are we having a conversation with someone because we're just curious about them and we care about them and we want to know what's going on in their lives? Are we having a conversation because we want to prove a point? Because we've learned something we're passionate about, and we want to share it. And recognizing what's our agenda going into a conversation, because that will often allow us to see how we're listening as well. Because if we go in with a set agenda, often we're looking to pick the points when somebody might say something that runs with what we've already got going into it, if that makes sense. So we'll hear those things more. Sometimes somebody might say something and it catches us to a previous experience. And we're like, oh, I remember when that happened for me, and it takes you straight back there. Some people you just vague out and you don't listen at all. And I mean, I find for me, if people are talking about facts or information, like names of things, I'm gone. My brain cannot, it hurts my head to try and process. And because I lose track of what a lot of words mean, and because so many times people are talking and I'll be like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because it's just gone. And so sometimes in my head, I'll stop listening to somebody sharing something really beautiful and important with me because I'm trying to process what the word means. And then I've missed half of it. But now I come back and now I'm like, I zoned out. Can you please tell me that again? Or because I really want to hear them. And sometimes we can go off in our own minds to what something means to us or what it might mean to something else in our lives. And we miss so much of what that person's sharing with us. And so bringing it back to that space of, oh, okay, I'm aware I'm out here, come back here and be present to what they're sharing. Because people can share some really beautiful things with us. And when we're open to receive, we remind ourselves that it's okay to be received. Because often we will feel very unheard. We will feel very unseen. We will feel that we haven't been able to express what we want, or we've expressed it, but they've heard it totally different to how you've said it, or what you actually meant by it. But whereas when we recognize in ourselves, no, I can give people the time to share their whole truth around this. We tell ourselves that it's okay to hear people's whole truths. Often we try and rush conversations as well. We try to get through it, but yet we might spend a couple of hours watching the telly or on the phone that day, but yet won't spend an extra 10 minutes having that conversation to get to something that actually really impacts your life and is really important to you, a person that's really important to you, because we're like, oh. And so sometimes when we learn to hear others more, we allow ourselves to see that it's okay to be heard as well. And reminding, and vice versa. If we're telling ourselves, I'm not heard, if we're telling ourselves, oh, what I've got to say isn't important, oh, it doesn't matter, I don't really need to say it, I can deal with this, we're telling ourselves that we don't need to be heard. And in that, we're setting that out there that people don't need to be heard. So then when we're listening, we'll be running that subconscious thought, people don't need to be heard. Our conscious mind will do whatever's necessary to make them work together, and we'll baby out to the butterfly. And so, yeah, looking at how we listen, looking at when we're going into a conversation that's important to us, one that might be running in our heads quite a lot. What is my agenda in this? Is this for me that I want to have this conversation, or is it for them? Where does this stem from? And do I actually want to hear what they have to say? Because sometimes we want to have a conversation with something because we want to hear something in particular back. Are we prepared to hear their truth? Or are we just looking to hear what we want to hear? Is it that we're expecting a certain outcome or a certain thing to be said to us, and that doesn't happen? And it's like, well, when we learn to let go of whether we're there for ourselves or we're there for them, if we're there for ourselves, tell them that. I really need to express myself to you. I am feeling really unheard. I'm feeling this. I need this conversation for me. So when we're talking about it, I appreciate that you may have other aspects you've got problems with this or that, but we're not talking about you right now. We're talking about me. I need to deal with this. And knowing that you're worth taking that time and that ownership of saying, this is about me. We're all worth it. And then once you feel that you have shared what it is that you would like to share, then you can bring it to, thank you, then you can bring it to hearing them fully, because you're not waiting for your turn to talk. You're not waiting for what it is that you didn't get understood, what they've misunderstood, what they've jumped in front of. You can then be truly present to hearing what it is they wish to share with you, what they are feeling about it. And through taking that extra time, through truly listening, through taking turns within that and going back and forth, I often, if I'm having a proper conversation, I might need to write notes, because there might be something that comes into my head and I really want to share that with them. I don't want to forget it. So instead of keep repeating it in my head, don't forget this, don't forget this, don't forget this, and not listening to them, write it down. Let it go. Come back to where they are. Because there is so much power in communication. So many issues are caused in life, in relationships, in families, in friendships, in health, because of miscommunication. Because we haven't fully heard that person, we haven't fully heard ourselves often. We can just welcome so much kindness and so much joy and love into our lives through having clear and honest communication. And because often we fear certain things or saying certain things because we don't want to upset someone. And this was one of the things for me growing up. It's like, just tell me. If I don't know, I don't know. How can I do anything about it if I don't know? You can keep telling me it's okay, but if inside you're like, but outside you're like, oh, it's fine, no worries. How are they going to know that it's creating that frustration for you, that it's actually upsetting you? Especially when it comes to our kids, it's hard. We really want to protect our loved ones. We don't want to say things that upset people. Sometimes they need to be upset. Life isn't about rainbows and butterflies and being happy all the time. It is crock. Positivity, making the world beautiful and everyone being happy, I think is responsible for one of the worst mental health issues around the world. Because we're just trying to convince people to lie to yourselves. We're trying to convince people, just be happy. No, this shit's sad. I'm sad. I'm angry. And we are human, and we have, more than anything else out there, any other animal, anything, we have the ability to feel all of these emotions. We have the ability to feel frustration, to feel anger, to feel fear, to feel pride, to feel gratitude, to feel love, to feel joy. We get to experience that. But not if we keep telling ourselves, I've just got to be this all the time. And that is exhausting. It is not attainable, it is not real, and it is so beautiful to feel pain. And all of our feelings are so valid, so important. And the more we honour each of our emotions, each of our feelings, the more when we're genuinely feeling happy, we will feel genuinely happy. Because we're respecting ourselves enough to honour the truth of what we feel. And so we're going to go off again, and we're going to find somebody else, and we're going to see if we can share something that we've not wanted to, something that we may not feel we should verbalise, something that may be quite confronting, and to sort of just go out there and just go, you know what, this is my truth. I want to share this. This is how I've been feeling about a situation, but it's not going to be seen as politically correct or kind. But I need to verbalise it. I need to get it out. And if you want to go away with any conversations, fun conversations that you can have with people or whatever, think of things that you share. Just grab someone and just be like, something that you're passionate about. Just think about what am I passionate about? Have that conversation with yourself. What invigorates me? What ignites me? What fuels me? And then ask, and then have that conversation with others. Share what you are passionate about. Ask what they are passionate about. Things that you might be ignoring, something that might make you feel vulnerable. Because we've all been through hell at some point in our lives, or it's ongoing. We've all experienced our own sense of trauma, fear, hate, self-hate. But we're all where we are now. And we've all overcome so much to become who we are now. And so honouring who we are now, learning what we know about ourselves and registering, actually I did that. I got myself through that. Yes, there was support, but I did that, and man, I am amazing. And recognising how much capability you have within yourself and your ways of doing it. There's not just one way. Everyone's going to have a different way to come to their own clarity and their own self and their own awesomeness. So yes, well done for all being awesome. Thank you all for being here and showing up for yourselves.